All right, so the Twins are no longer undefeated, but the new pitch clock is 1 hour and 57 minutes,
7
Pat.
minutes. Yes, it was
What?
unbelievable. It's astounding to say the least. I was just talking to somebody this morning who has observed the Champions Club through its years, where they like to sit down there and graze for about 4 innings and then go out and watch. They like to put in at least an hour, maybe more, into the game before they go out and sit down. They're gonna they're gonna they're going to, instead of appearing in the fourth, they're going to be appearing in the seventh this year. It's amazing how it's working. But you get a pitcher who goes 9 innings, who throws what? He threw even 100 pitches, right? I think Alcantara threw 100 innings.
Well, it seems a little risky this early in the season.
Oh yeah, I don't know. We couldn't put Buck back out there yesterday because I was trying to decipher Rocco's quote today about we're going to have to monitor him and then maybe get into these stretches where we play him every other game. Okay, I didn't quite figure out what he was trying to tell us, but he was telling us Buck was perfectly healthy. Why didn't he just say, "Hey, he's in a good stretch. We got the best right-handed pitcher in the National League pitching, and he might strike out 3 times. So we're just going to let somebody else try it." Okay, why didn't he just tell us he didn't think he could hit the guy? Okay, so that would be my guess. But anyway, 157. Wow, but no runs. The pitching is so far the pitching is as good as advertised. That's for sure.
It's been a week, less than a week of games, but their vision, which they should have been implementing this vision years ago. Let's get 5 competent starting pitchers out there and see if we can be competitive. And then Maeda said he was fine. He's just a little fatigued, but he did have to be consulted with a trainer after he was done with his start. So
they are. You know what is amazing though? Around the league, there's been a lot of high-scoring games. The runs are up. There's been a lot of 10-9 games. Somebody said the other day there was a game that was. Some team scored 11 runs in an inning. Who was that? Somebody scored 11 runs in an inning, and it was 232 or something like that. The game took like 232. That inning would have taken 232 previously, right?
So we were talking about this before we hit record here. But at what point does this cost teams revenue?
Yes,
because you have a half hour of beer sales and $15 sandwich sales.
Yes.
$12 hot dog sales go down the drain.
Yes. And, Yankee Stadium, for instance, the traffic, the Triborough Bridge is full of traffic. People are routinely 45 minutes late trying to find someplace to park and stuff. It's going to be you used to get in the top of the second. Now you're getting in the top of the fourth. It's going to be, those guys. Those New Yorkers want to get in there, get rowdy, have their beers and scream and holler, and they're not going to have time to get drunk. they're going to be out of the door, which is, I agree with you, Judd. Though you said before we came on, they got to sell them for 9 innings now.
Yeah, nine innings of beer sales. Yeah.
What's the reason why they cut you off in the 7th? Because they don't want people too drunk when they're leaving.
I guess.
Well, if you've had 16 beers before the 7th inning, a couple innings of cooling down is going to help you.
A little cool down.
Well, the other thing is, I suppose that people will want to sit around after the game and finish their beers. So what? You don't have to empty the stadium out and you have the people in the various suites and stuff hanging around a half hour anyway. If somebody wants to hang out in the stands for 20 minutes and finish their last beer, so what? You don't have to sweep everybody out. That's our new campaign. Let them drink to the end, damn it.
And then keep post-game beer sales. Post-game, who wants one?
Keep it open till 2 a.m. Who cares? Best bar in the Twin Cities.
That's true. That is true. But it is. This thing is working so well. It's unbelievable. We know. I saw Bob Ryan tweeted something out about this. Did we have any idea how screwed up the game was? We thought it was screwed up, but do we have any idea just making them move could save this much time?
I didn't think down to 157, even in a 1-0 game. No, I did not think the game was that. But I mean, I'm ecstatic now. I think that the business people that have to jump on this opportunity are the bars around the ballpark.
Yeah.
If I'm like, hey, you didn't get enough.
You're right.
You didn't get overserved. I can do that for you.
Yeah, when they're wandering out of the stadium at 9:15, they're not going to go home. They're going to go get a drink.
Come get a drink. 2, 3. Don't drive.
It'll be great for downtown. So, it is amazing. I did see Manny Machado get called out yesterday, though, in the first inning, and Culpa was being a jackass. The umpire should have a little more discretion than when the beep goes off on him with the batter. And really, the one thing I'd change is I don't care if the batter is looking at the pitcher or not. That's his problem, right? When he gets in the box, why should he have to observe the pitcher within, when there's 8 seconds left? What if he wants to keep scraping his feet and the guy throws the ball down the middle? That's his problem.
If he's in the batter's box, it's fair game, right?
Yeah, I don't know why I guess for safety reasons they're doing that, but but they called out Machado was calling for time as the buzzer went off, and he didn't give it to him. And Ron Culpa is a jackass anyway, one of the officials, so one of the plate umpires. So he was. Have you noticed? That's another thing, by the way. I was just talking to somebody about that too. That there's so many new umpires now. It's amazing. There's 7 crew chiefs retired, and they got 10 or 12 new full-time umpires. It's the old guys. If the old guys had known how well the speed up rule is going to work, they wouldn't have quit.
Joe West wants to come back.
Yeah, right.
He'd be running guys right and left.
Nobody loves short games more than umpires, so they got to be happy as
umpires and beat writers. Baseball beat writers are hilarious, I used to be when Pat used to be a baseball beat writer.
Right.
Like, there's not a group of people that gets their dream job and hates it more than a baseball beat writer.
Amen.
God, this game's taking too long.
Oh yeah, that has happened, and
extra innings. Oh God,
I go back. We're approaching the 50th anniversary of me being a beat writer for the first time, but I loved it. But
me too.
But for newspapers, the biggest change might not even be time of game. It might be the deadlines that we're working with now are absurd. It used to be, I think when I was at the St. Paul paper, the outstate run, which wasn't huge, but that was like 10:45, and then it was midnight or 12:15 for the city. So you go down there and you can rewrite, and now it's 9. The other day I was at a game. They wanted the column at 9:15 and 9:15, a game that's going to end at 9:15. So it's deadline. One reason they grouse a lot, but then there's also a lot of beat writers who just don't like baseball. We're ended up covering baseball, but they don't. I think they took the beat because they could stay in hotels in other cities rather than really.
You get to stay in New York for a 3-day weekend.
It's great shopping too, Pat. It's fantastic shopping. Macy's.
Right. Yeah, meet old college friends and stuff like that. So
that's great. So have the Twins done anything in the first handful of games to make you feel differently about your preseason doom and gloom prediction?
Pitching might be. I was not head over heels about the starting rotation. I liked it, but it's all right-handed. It was obviously improved. I think the bullpen could be. I thought the bullpen was going to be good. It might be better than good, but at the plate, no, not really. I don't. We got this lineup is. This lineup's going to be easy to pitch to. I mean, what they won with 2 runs twice, right? And they left the bases loaded thousands of times. And no, I look at the lineup just the way I did when the season started. Pretty much, I think it's inadequate now. Although Buxton looks way better at the plate than I was presuming he would. I thought if you got the Buxton you had last year with 218, I didn't know what Buxton we were going to get. But I'm a little more optimistic, but not much. You got to. You've had the privilege of playing two of the worst hitting teams in baseball, so we'll find out.
If Buxton's going to be rested as a DH 4 games in, when are we going to see him, or should I say, are we going to see him in center? Because like they're using him right now, despite being positive. I get that, but they're using him like a guy who very much has a chronic problem, and they're just trying their best to not have that flare up. I wonder when he's going to actually get out there, if he is.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to play center field, but that guy's going to hit 210.
Taylor,
Taylor, he's going to hit 210. So
agreed.
I don't know. They're maybe one of their younger, one of the players, a younger player can come in halfway through the year and take over in center field. You know who's way better than I thought they were going to be? Cleveland. Oof, they're scoring runs. Cleveland's, scoring runs, and it looks like, they're going to win some games. And their pitching isn't as good, obviously. Hey, how about the Red Sox? Opening day starter, Corey Kluber.
Yeah.
What was this, an old-timers game? What the hell? The guy's got nothing left. He's got nothing left.
It's amazing.
He's your opening day starter. Boy, they got to be mad in Boston that this is the team they're presenting them.
They are. They are not happy. Well, I mean, they're not happy about a lot of things, going back to Mookie Betts and all sorts of personnel decisions the last few years. I think I think they're due and will be fine if they're not that competitive for a few years. I think Boston's had enough.
Yes,
they've had enough.
I think the Celtics and Bruins will help them out.
Plus, Liverpool is having, Liverpool had won whatever the hell it is over there only a couple of years ago, so they came back. So John Henry and the boys were happy about that. So that was.
Yeah,
I can't imagine how many
Boston championships for sure.
If I was a Boston columnist, I can't imagine how much I'd agitate the fans about Liverpool after a Red Sox loss. Liverpool won.
I don't know if you watched Ted Lasso, but the biggest problem I have with Ted Lasso, and I'm not an EPL soccer guy, but they make West Ham look like the best team in the English Premier League. West Ham hasn't won a championship in like 50 years.
No.
They've never been routinely at top of the table. But in Ted Lasso, they are the juggernauts, and you got to beat West Ham, which I find hilarious.
I do not watch Ted Lasso. I think it was a poor version of the first major league, the mean woman owner and blah blah.
I think you'd. If you watch the first season, I think you'd enjoy it.
I
know that now that everyone loves it means that you probably won't want to watch it.
No, I watched about the first 5 episodes, and I didn't find it funny.
Couldn't do it.
I didn't find it funny, but maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's a lot of people like it. I'm not right about everything. I'll admit that. Once in a while,
You're not?
Breaking news.
Once in a while,
what are you on about?
Once in a while, the public and I have a difference of opinion that's never going to be resolved. That's for sure. So anyway,
hey, did you
how
see
about our Wolfies?
I was going to say we clinched it. We clinched the play.
Now let's celebrate
last
it.
night.
Oh, did we get it? Who lost? Somebody lose later?
Well, Dallas. We have all the tiebreakers over Dallas, so let's wave.
Okay.
Great job, Kyrie. Got them right out of the playoffs.
Has he been playing or not?
Yes,
he has been playing, huh?
Well,
what happened?
One side of the ball he's been playing.
Yeah. Boy, what a disaster that is. They're supposedly. I was reading something how active they're going to be in free agency. How can they be? They got two guys making half the money in the world. There's a salary cap. I mean,
is Kyrie's a free agent? I believe.
Yes, they don't. Yeah, their number one priority is to try to sign him. So.
Dude.
I think though, don't you think the team we played last night is your best chance to trade Cat? It was good. Cat had a good game against Brooklyn because they might be the one.
And he made it known. He made it known
Yeah.
that he and Finch had a little private meeting, and Cat had to
Oh,
straighten
yeah.
some things out about
Yes.
the offensive
yes.
approach.
Yeah, he
So-
said,
Yes.
Finchy, it's your fault. Take the blame publicly. Finchy said, okay, thanks.
Finch literally, after the conversation with Cat, took the blame for Cat only shooting 3 times in Portland. That's on
Well,
me. I've got to find him more shots. Okay.
But so I cannot disagree with Cat on this one. When Anthony's throwing it up 30 times and I get 3 shots, something's wrong. It's stupid. And that's how you lose to the terrible team like that. Because I mean, Anthony, okay, he got 37. He shot 30 times. He's not a 30-time shooter. And in fact, he should have a limit of how many threes he can shoot. When he gets that look in that eye, when he gets that look in his eye that he's going to throw up a bomb in a close game, Finchy should call immediate timeout and say, no, you're not shooting a 3, because you only, his clutch threes are minimal, the ones he makes, and he takes too many easy threes instead of getting to the basket. So
what do you on Finch real quick? Because I'm not out on Finch, but my worry with Finch is that he's a really, really good lead assistant with an offensive mind. I still wonder if he's the head coach of an NBA team that aspires to, go to the Western Conference Finals. What's your read on Finch?
I don't know. Somebody was calling me yesterday trying to tell me he was the problem, and I don't go that far.
Was it Karl
but
Anthony Towns?
Just some
it
random
wasn't.
solicitor.
It wasn't.
Hey, your insurance is going to expire. And by the way, Chris Finch is the problem.
There's nobody. There's nobody in town who would rather see them get rid of Karl Anthony Towns than me. So it wasn't Karl Anthony Towns' call.
Phil.
I think Karl Anthony Towns.
Pat, you want to? Phil,
I'll fight you for that one.
Phil will drive him to New Jersey.
Okay. Yes. So, I don't know. I think the influence of NBA coaches on a team is less than it's ever been because you don't have any power. You're making $4 million and they're making 30. They don't. I think he's a neutral. I don't think he helps that much. I don't think he hurts that much. But you want Rick Carlisle for God's sakes? I don't think so. So what kind of coach? We fired the coach, the guy who could have taken this team to the heights. We got look what he's doing with the Knicks, even without Julius Randle. We should have kept
I thought you were going to say one of the lead assistants on the Denver Nuggets, who are the number 1 seed in the West, Ryan Saunders.
Ryan. That could be. Boy, I was the other day. I was looking at their record. Ryan's record was really bad. He took over at halfway through the year when they fired Tibbs. They didn't win any games. The next 2 years, they didn't win any games. It was.
It was bad. It was 5 years too early on that one. Yeah.
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 But he could be a contender. You think he can get in the conversation when Benz is gone after next year? No, probably they're going to have to go get an expensive.
That's an interesting one because that was kind of being talked about even 2 or 3 years ago, just among idiots like us. I don't know if it was a real conversation, but
they're going to have to go expensive for they went expensive for their women's coach. Of course, the men's coach is much more expensive, but they're going to have to. They're going to have to go high priced for him, and Big Ten, you can go get a coach from almost any league there is, except maybe I don't know what league has got more money to spend on a basketball coach than the Big Ten after the new deal gets it. Nobody, so they're going to be able. They can go and get somebody from almost any place if they want to. So.
Yeah.
And I don't see any hope for Ben with when I look at the roster that they have coming in. I mean, they're not gonna go 2-19 again or whatever they were, 2-17, but they probably aren't. They're gonna be in the last third. They're gonna players are, isn't it? Hey, I want to bring this one up. Minnesota State, Mankato, right? They've had a great hockey run here.
Yeah.
Hastings left. Now, this is hockey. We don't perceive this to be the portal to be a hockey problem. They lost their whole team. Hastings went to Wisconsin, and they haven't named their new coach yet, to find out whether they like the guy or not. And 8 or 9 of them have already transferred out.
Yeah.
Or went into the portal. What's the problem? Can't you wait and see if you like the new guy? Because it's not like hockey's going to give you a lot of big NIL deals for college hockey. They're not making a lot of money, so. But they all went into the portal. We like Hastings, so we're gonna all go in the portal, not wait to see who you name as a coach. It's incredible.
His main assistant said no on Sunday too, right? And so I think that's when they all bailed.
I think he's kind of I was checking on him, and I don't know him, but he's a kind of a low-key personality who was a good finder of talent, but he's a definite number 2 guy, although they wanted to give him the job, but just to keep the recruits and and the players. And when he said no, they all bailed out. But it's the NIL is everywhere. Hey, one other thing I want to say. You know who's really sharp to keep the NIL money coming? Caitlin Clark. They had her yesterday on ESPN and gave her a chance to rip the kid from LSU who taunted her. And she said, I think I admire her greatly. And, I think she, I'm not offended by anything she did. I'm not offended by this. And my NIL sponsors can now give me even more money.
Yes,
so
look at how great of a person I am. Yes.
Yes, that was a really great. That was great PR by her, and then Jill Biden, who doesn't know basketball from football, obviously said Iowa should be invited to the White House along with LSU.
No.
And Caitlin says it's not for runners up. That the White House visit is not for runners up. And, so she beat the crowd in saying that's stupid. A lot of people said it was stupid immediately, but Caitlin Clark was smart enough to say, no, we should not go to the White House. She's a bright, they're business people now. The players of her stature, they're business people. They got to think of what their sponsors. Yeah. She supposedly, I said, wow, she'll probably make $500,000. I got a bunch of texts from down there or tweets from down there saying she's already making over $1 million.
Look at that
on NIL.
Good for her.
That's awesome.
And the highest salary in the WNBA is $250,000.
Yeah.
The WNBA.
I to tell you guys, it pays to stay in college.
Yes, that's what
Page
right.
Can you imagine her having to slump into some idiot college class, going to some psych 300 level class after got $1 million in the bank, just playing the championship game?
Well, apparently this Angel, the taunting chick, is she's got 1.2 million Instagram followers.
Yeah. Pat, you're getting close on Twitter, I think. I think you're getting close to 50,000, so we'll see if we can get you that boost.
What do you think I can,
I think you'd be at 100,000 if you didn't block people, but
Pat on TikTok. That's what I want to say.
You think the young women who are Instagram fanatics would like to have me on there going like this?
The most popular thing you've ever put on social media was a shirtless pic at a spring training baseball game.
Yeah.
And that was my idea. I was sitting next to Chip and I said, hey, take a picture of this. We'll blow up Twitter with this picture. And that worked out okay.
Chip is still scarred to this day.
When you have no pride, it's okay. You can get away with that. So what else we got going? We got to have something else we should. The Masters. Here we go. The Masters starting tomorrow. That's
forecast sucks, Pat.
By the way, did you know that?
Not good.
Okay. At Augusta, back down in the corner, Amen corner, number 13, the tee, they wanted to move it back. And right behind it, right behind the fence, is the 9th fairway of the Augusta Country Club. And the only way they could move it back was to buy that land. And the Augusta Country Club's been there forever, too. And they got a lot of people with money. and I looked it up. They bought it in 2017. The ninth, the 8th green and the 9th fairway, 25 mil.
What? Oh my God.
That's what Golf Week estimated, and now they just put the new tee in up the hill. So on 13 to make it longer, but they had to pay for it, and then they had to figure out a way to redo the golf course to make up for those hotel and build the golf course. So they have an endless supply of money down there. But I always figured, people said they got to lengthen this hole. I said, well, how are they going to lengthen the hole? The other golf course is 20 feet behind the tee box.
You just go buy a couple holes on the other course.
Buy it for $25 million. It's I'm interested to see that shot because you guys have always seen it. They just go up there around that corner. That's my favorite hole is when the guy Ian Baker Finch got his problems and started hitting everything left. After being one of the best players in the league and best players in golf. And I was down there early on a day and sitting next to this old guard standing there, and they were up in the woods. There's like 5 people up in the woods on the left looking at for Finch's ball, and this other old redneck comes down and says, "Hey, Bill, what's going on?" Some guy from Augusta the Doom. He says, "What's going on up there?" And the guy says, "That's that Ian Baker Finch. That boy's a danger to wildlife," he said when he was up there.
It's always bad. It's always bad if you become a regular golf commentator by the age of about 38. David
right.
Duvall, Ian Baker. Something went horribly wrong in your career.
That is the Duvall story is one of the amazing stories of golf. I mean, he was fighting Tiger.
I know.
For number 1 in the world, and now he finished 3rd in the Shadowbrook Open out here, and he couldn't win the men's league at the Shadowbrook golf course. And
now he's fighting Brandel Chambly for microphone time.
Yes, so you can't fight Brandel, man. Brandel will not shut up, and I love him because nobody hates Liv more than Brandel. So
true. All right, Pat, we got to run. Enjoy your off day tomorrow for the Twins, and
yes. Good idea.
We'll catch you tomorrow, though, on our show.
All right, and get there early. And Dave St. Peter's announcement today should be: we're going to keep the bar open till the last pitch. and if you're still in line, it's like voting. They should make it like voting. If you're still in line, when the game ends, you can get your beer. That's what they should.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you,
all right. Reusse Unchained on SKOR North. See you guys.